You know, as you were walking in, I looked at all of your faces. Yes, I did. I looked at all of your faces, and you look really smart to me. But you know, I don't believe everything I see, so you're going to have to prove to me how smart you were. And the way you do that is by answering certain questions as we go through the show. And at the end of the show, we'll decide, or I'll decide, if you're really as smart as you look. Now, when I was young, probably around some of your ages, yeah, that was a long time ago, yeah, I know. About 9 or 10 years old, I had a dream of becoming a magician. Now, I had other dreams, and I hope every single person in this room has dreams. It's important to have dreams. Dreams of getting a good job, getting a good education, having a good family. I had those dreams, but you see, I had another dream too. I had a dream of becoming a magician. And I'm proud to say that through a lot of hard work and through no drugs or alcohol, I was able to do that. My grandfather was a wise old man. He told me two things. He said, and they stuck with me to this very day. First thing he said to me was, he said, you can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. Now think about that for a minute. You know, if you want to get a good education and you want to get a good job, you have to stay in school and work hard. Like, there's no other option. Now, you have other choices. And every day we have choices. You choose today to come here. I think that's a really fabulous choice. You made a great decision there. And for me, I had a choice of I wanted to be a magician. And I worked really, really hard to do it. So my advice to you is, decide what's important in your life. And work hard to make that as important as it possibly can be. The other thing my grandfather said to me, he said, you know, anything that's worthwhile in life is not easy. You have to work hard for everything. Becoming a magician wasn't easy, but it was a dream that I had, and I made it come true. Now, I've got to give you a little hint about magicians. You see, we don't like to do magic that other magicians do. I like to do something different. And coming here, I thought, now, what could I do that you people haven't seen before? And I was in the store a little while ago, and I found these bubbles. And I thought, you know, I've never seen a magician do bubble magic before. So I bought the bubbles, brought them home, and figured, now, what could I do that would be really neat with bubbles? And I started to see what magic I could do. And the more I tried, the harder it got. But I always remember what my grandfather told me. He said, anything that's worthwhile is not easy. So I tried and I tried and I worked harder and harder until I finally realized that I can't do magic with bubbles because they're not real. They're fake. And it kind of reminded me what life must be like for someone who does a lot of drugs and alcohol. Like, they're kind of not real. They're fake. They hang around with different people. They hang around with different friends. They wear different clothes. They talk differently. They go to different places. They're kind of fake, not real people. If I was to have one wish, my wish would be to have a world with no drugs or alcohol, because we really don't need that in our lives. And if I was to give you one piece of advice, the best piece of advice I could give not only you but anybody else is live your lives with no drugs or alcohol, because, you know, if you're going to do that, when you reach for something, it's real. Thank you. Now, I came here to talk to you about some things that are near and dear to my heart. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about was this. It's a no smoking sign. Now, this means different things to different people. To me, it means, well, you should never smoke at all. I'm a non-smoker. I've made a choice very early in life that I wasn't going to smoke, and I think it's a really wise choice. And I would like to think that everybody here in this room has made that same choice. But you see, there are other people who think differently of this sign. You see, there are other people who think that, well, no smoking really means no smoking where there's a sign that says no smoking. But you see, there are other people who really don't care about this sign. And it's probably just as well that we tore that sign up. And because they're not going to obey that sign no matter what you do. And for those people who kind of want to tear up that sign, they usually go out and they buy these. And what I want to do, yeah, you don't see that every day. Yeah, some people actually clap when I do that, but don't feel under any obligation to do that. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to spend a few minutes and talk to you about smoking, and I need a volunteer. How about right there at the red? Yeah. Round side. Your name?
Megan.
Megan? Let's give Megan a big round of applause. This is my portable ashtray. I take this everywhere I go. Hold on to that. The reason why I take it everywhere I go is because more and more often I see young people around your age starting to smoke. And I always ask them the same question, and they always give me the same answer. And the question I ask them is, why do you smoke? And the answer that they give me is, well, I can stop whenever I want to. But you see, the cigarette companies are smarter than that. You see, they put something in these to make you not want to quit. Anybody know what it is? Yes, there's tobacco in it, but it's nicotine. You see, I figure I'm smarter than the cigarette companies. I've never smoked. And you know, people don't smoke to become addicted to cigarettes. They smoke and they become addicted to cigarettes. See, the only way you're going to beat the cigarette companies is never start at all. I figure I'm pretty smart. All you people look pretty smart. We're going to do a little experiment with this cigarette. And I'm going to ask you the same question I asked those people on the street with my portable ashtray. Just take the top off, look in, tell me what's in there.
Nothing.
Exactly. There used to be ashes and cigarette butts and everything in there. I clean it out every day because I don't like the smell of that stuff. So I go to the person and I say, why are you smoking? And they give me the same answer. They say, well, I can stop whenever I want to. Of course, I know the difference. So I take their cigarette and I say, can I do an experiment with your cigarette? And they say, sure. So I take the cigarette and I place it into my portable ashtray. And I take the top and place the top on it like that. And I'll go back and I ask them a question. Now, you know, I've been doing shows all over the place. Depending on where you go, a pack of cigarettes can be like more than $5. In some places, it's even less than $5. But for this show today, let's just say a package of cigarettes is $5. For this show today, let's say it's $5. So I go to that person and I say, you know, every time you say no to a package of cigarettes, how much money do you save? $5. Take the top off. Well, you see, this only represents one package of cigarettes. See, the cigarette companies aren't interested in you stopping at one package of cigarettes. They want you to smoke for the rest of your life, which probably, by the way, won't be very long if you smoke. Who can tell me what addiction is? Does anybody know what the definition of addiction is? Yes. It means when you can't stop. Now, you see, we have addictions to all kinds of things. There's addictions to drugs, to gambling, to smoking, to drinking. But we're going to talk about an addiction to cigarettes this morning because it's really near and dear to my heart. I'm going to fire some questions out to you, and I want you to answer these as fast as you can. Every time you say no to a package of cigarettes, how much money do you save? 2 packs. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see, you have to understand that as you become addicted to cigarettes, that $5 can wind up to be a lot more than $5. Someone said to me a little while ago, they said, can I have this $100? And I said, well, no, I've worked really, really hard for this $100, but I gave them some advice. And I'll give all of you the same advice. Stay in school, get a good education, and don't waste your money on cigarettes. And believe me, you can have as many of these as you want. So here's my question. Simple question. Let's see what your answer is. What would you rather have? An ashtray full of cigarette butts and ashes, stinky clothes and stinky breath, or a whole pile of these? Give yourselves a clap. You made the right choice. Thank you. I've got something for you. All of my volunteers get a bookmark with Discover the Magic, Be Drug Free, and a poster with Discover the Magic, Be Drug Free. Let's give Megan a big round of applause. Thank you. You can have a seat. Now, you know, we just spent a bit of time talking about what cigarettes and an addiction to cigarettes can do to your pocketbook. But, you know, there's another side of smoking that's even more important than that. And that's what it does to your lungs. And I want to do a quick experiment now on smoking and lungs. And I need another volunteer. How about right there on the end in the back? Yeah. Yeah, come on up. Pardon?
Of course you already know my name. They've been yelling it out.
Of course I already know your name.
Yeah.
How would I know your name?
They were just yelling it out. See?
James. James? What's your first name?
James?
Are you twins?
No.
Are you married?
No.
I'll tell you what.
What?
Just stand right here,
Right here?
right over this trap door, okay? Just right there, and don't move. Now, you know, I've been asked to come here to talk to you people, and every day of your life, your lives are faced with you're faced with choices. And you made a good choice today to come here. You make good choices every day. You get up and go to school, and you study, and you work hard, and you do good things. You can choose right now to believe me or not to believe me. It's your choice. I'm here to help you. And I'm telling you the truth when I say to you that a person who smokes has a lung that looks like this. It's all black with tar and nicotine and all kinds of gunk on it. Let me just blow it up to show you what it's like actually when a smoker actually breathes air in. Sometimes it's hard for smokers to breathe because it is gunk on their lungs. Now, I don't know about you, but I certainly wouldn't want to have something like that living inside my body. Hold on to that. As opposed to someone who does not smoke, a non-smoker. Now, lungs are pink in color, but for this demonstration of you, I'm going to use a clear balloon because it really sends a really neat message. As you can see, it's nice and clear, no disease, no tar, no gunk, no nicotine on it. This is the kind of a lung that I certainly would like to have inside my body. Now, can anybody tell me what stress is? Does anybody know what stress is? Yes. Yes, it's something that can be bad for you. Let me give you an example of stress. You know, we all have stress. I have stress when I have an important magic show like this. I get kind of nervous. You people have stress. When you have an exam or a test, you want to do well. You get a little bit nervous. People react differently to stress. Some people sweat at the palms. Some people sweat at the forehead. Some people, their heart rate goes up. And if you're not really healthy, like a smoker, you could have something serious happen to you. And stress can be as simple as walking up over the stairs, mowing a lawn, or shoveling your driveway. That can cause problems for someone who's not healthy, like a smoker. Now, I'm going to use a different kind of stress. Hold on to that. On those two balloons. The stress that I'm going to use is this. Now, I'm going to take this. I'm going to walk about 40 feet over. I'm going to throw it at about 90 miles an hour. Okay? And you're going to hold that right next to your head like that. I'm joking. I'm going to use this as a demonstration to show you what stress can do to a smoker's lung and a non-smoker's lung. Let's look at a smoker's lung first and see how it reacts to stress. Now again, stress can be walking up over the stairs, shoveling your driveway, or mowing your lawn. That can cause problems for a smoker. Oh, didn't last very long. Let's look at a non-smoker's lung. Now sometimes a non-smoker's lung, even though Here's my question. Here's my question. What would you rather have? Lungs that look like that or lungs that look like that? Give yourselves a clap. You made the right choice. How about a big round of applause? There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir James. Now, this is not something I'm proud of, but this is a true story. When I was about 11 years old, I saved up $20 to buy my first magic trick. I was going to be the greatest magician in the world. And I met this guy coming down the street. He had these cards marked a dove of peace. And I thought, boy, you know, if I became a magician, I wanted to have doves in my magic show. And he stopped me and he said, would you like to win something? And of course, I said, sure. Well, he said, I have 4 cards here. And he said, whichever card I turn over, that's the card, that whatever is on that card, you will win it. And I thought, well, you know, there's only 4 cards. It should be pretty easy for me to figure out which card was turned over. But he said, to make it interesting, why don't we bet some money? And I reached in my pocket and I had a 10 and 2 5s. And I took a $5 bill out and I laid it on the table. I said, for $5, I bet you I can guess which card is turned over. And this is what he did. He went 1, 2, 3, 4. And he showed me a needle. And I said, but isn't that bad for you? And he said, no, no, no. He said, that's a good needle. And I started to get worried for a second, but he had these dove of peace, and he looked kind of a nice person, so I said I'd go along with it. So he said, now, can you see what card is turned over? I said, yes. And he said, well, watch very carefully. He said, because I'm going to ask you now what card is turned over. And I said, the needle. He said, are you sure? I said, yes. He said, are you positive? Because I want you to win that. And I said, yes, I'm pretty sure. He did this. He went 1, 2, 3, 4. He said, oh, sorry, you're wrong. And he took my $5. He said, do you want to play again? Double your money. I said, well, you know, I only have $15 left. He said, well, you know, you'd probably win it back this time. And I said, well, isn't that a cigarette? And he said, yes. I said, aren't they bad for you? He said, oh, no, not that, this kind. These kind are good for you. And I started to worry a bit because, but then again, I looked at his cards and they looked kind of neat with the dove on them. So he said, look at the card that's turned over, and I took another $5 out and laid it on the table. And he said, now watch very closely. He said, I want you to tell me what card is turned over. I said, the cigarette. And he said, are you sure? I said, yes. He said, are you positive? Because I really want you to win. I said, yes. And he said, let's take a look. And he went 1, 2, 3, 4. I lost again. He said, would you like to get your money back? And I said, yes. I said, but I don't want to take any more chances. He said, I'll tell you what. He said, I'll make it really easy for you. He said, we'll go double or nothing. I said, isn't that alcohol? He said, yes. I said, isn't that bad for you? He said, no. He said, this is good for you. And I said, well. Anyway, I wanted to get my money back, and he said, look, I'll make it really easy for you. He said, I'm going to turn over 1 card. He said, if you can tell me what card is turned over. I said, hold on. Happy pills. He said, yeah, they make you happy. I said, what's this skull and crossbones? Isn't that poisonous? Isn't that danger? And he said, no, 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 no. He said, they put that on the bottle by mistake. And I thought to myself, well, I really should be careful here because I don't know if this guy is really telling me the truth or not. But I wanted to win my money back, so I took out my last $10 and laid it on the table. Now, he said, which card is turned over? I said, the pills. He said, is that the only one? I said, yeah. He said, are you positive? I said, yes. It's the only one that's turned over. And he went like this. He went, oh, he said, it's really too bad, he said. Actually, all 4 cards are turned over. And he took my last $10 and he walked down the street. And I was really sad because here I had saved up for a long time, had $20. I was going to buy my first magic trick, and I was going to be the greatest magician in the world. And he had just taken my $20 on me, and I felt really bad and disappointed. And then I finally looked at the 4 cards that he had left with me. And I looked at them and I thought, you know, these cards aren't good for me. For instance, the needle is dangerous. The cigarette. Cigarettes can kill you. Alcohol You have to stay away from alcohol. And pills. Pills can be deadly. And you know, I kind of thought after, and I said to myself, you know, I'm kind of fortunate that I didn't really win these things, because these things aren't good for me at all. These things can really kill you. And I guess I became a winner after all. Someone said to me a while ago, you know, if you're going to do a magic show, you have to do a rope trick. And I thought, well, yeah, every magic show has a rope trick, and I wanted to cut 3 pieces of rope, and I wound up with 3 different lengths of rope, and I tried to make them even, and I ran out of time. But I thought, well, okay, maybe there is a rope trick I can do here. This long piece of rope represents the things that are most important in your life. Your family, your education, getting a good job. As you can see, we can easily see, long piece of rope. Middle-sized rope represents the things that are kind of important in your life. Things like doing your homework, being a good friend to somebody, keeping your home clean, keeping your school clean, just being an overall generally good person. Kind of important, but not as important as your family. Family most important in your life. Now, if we look at this little guy here, this kind of represents the things that really shouldn't be in your life at all. Things like drugs, alcohol, smoking. Things should never be in your life at all. For some reason or other, most people can tell the difference. Most people can tell the difference with what's most important in their life. Most people can tell the difference with what's kind of important in their life. And most people can then tell the difference with what shouldn't be in their life at all. And as a result, when they make choices, they always make the right decisions. But there are some people, for whatever reason, can't tell the difference. They don't know what's important, what's not important, what's kind of important. And as a result, those people who don't know the difference, when faced with a tough choice, all their decisions look the same. Decision 1 looks the same as decision 2, looks the same as decision 3. Decision 1, they can't figure out whether that's the right one, because that kind of looks the same as decision 2, and that kind of looks the same as decision 3. I always say to people like that, you know, if you can't figure out what's important and what's not important, you really better not make up your mind now, because there's probably going to be a good chance you're going to make the wrong choice. So I say to people, well, why don't you look at it a little differently? So let's look at these choices a little differently. And if you look at them a little differently, it may become really clear to you what's kind of important in your life. So we look at them a little differently, and you say, well, not really, because choice 1 looks the same as choice 2, looks the same as choice 3. If you're ever in a situation where you don't know what to do, best piece of advice I could give you, find some quiet place to go. Your room, or somewhere where you can gather all your thoughts together. And when you gather all your thoughts together, really think about what's important in your life. And you know, if you can do that, what will happen is it will become abundantly clear to you what decision you should make. And as a result, you'll walk out of your room or that quiet place where you are, and you'll know what shouldn't be in your life. You'll have a really good idea of the things that are kind of important, and you'll have a really good idea of the things that are most important in your life. And then you'll make your choice, and you'll make the right decision. Now, this is a guessing game. This is a guessing game. And I want, it's 3 blank cards and an ace. And you have to guess where the ace is. And to make it easy, actually I'll do what the guy did to me. He put a blank card down, he took the ace and placed it between the 2 blank cards. And he turned them over and he said, now I want you to follow where the ace is. And he went 1, 2, he mixed them up like this. And he said, where's the ace? And I said, it's in the middle. He said, no. He said, you're wrong. I said, okay, then there's either on the top or the bottom. And he said, no. He said, it's not on the top or the bottom. He said, it's over here. He said, that's $4 you owe me. I said, can I see it one more time? He said, certainly. So we took the blank card, laid it down, took the ace, and laid it on top. Now he said, remember, the ace is always in the middle. And he turned him around and he showed me that indeed the ace was in the middle. So he said, now the object is to follow the ace. So we turned it over, and he went 1, 2, 3. He said, where's the ace? I said, well, you know, I was going to say on the table, but I'm a tenacious kind of a person. I said, no, it was in the middle. He said, no. He said, you're wrong. He said, you've seen this before. He said, this is the one where you had 3 blank cards and an ace. He said, that's $8 you owe me. I said, well, do I get a chance to win my money back? He said, certainly. And he took the blank card, and he laid it on the table, and he took the ace and placed the ace on the bottom. And he said, now watch closely. So he went 1, 2, just reversed the cards. He said, now where's the ace? Well, I'm a tenacious kind of a person, but I'm not a fool. I said, it's on the table. He said, no. He said, you're wrong. He said, that's $16 you owe me. I said, well, there's no aces there at all. Well, he said, you know, you could have picked the bottom card, you would have been right. He said, that's $32 you owe me. He said, you could have picked the top card, you would have been right. He said, that's $64 you owe me. He said, you could have even picked the middle card. He said, you would have been right. He said, that's $128 you owe me. Because he said, all along, I've been using 3 aces and a blank card. And that's when I quit gambling. Well, wouldn't you? I'd like to finish off and show you one more gambling effect. I need one more volunteer. Okay, right there. Stay where you were. Stay where you were. Take this. Magic money. You have the bet. Hold on. I'll give you 3 chances. Okay, it's your final choice, but you get to tell. The audience can give you a hint. You can go back to your seat. Here it is. Watch closely. I have a king. I have a queen. You have to follow where the queen goes. And I have another... I'm the magician here, okay? And I have another king. The idea is to follow the queen. And I'm going to mix these up at lightning quick speed, and you have to guess where they are. Here we go. Watch closely. There we go. Where is it? The one closest to me? Hands up, how many people think it's closest to me? Actually, if you guessed in the middle, you would have been right. $5. Or I'm sorry, magic money. Yes, thank you very much. You have to follow the queen. Okay, here we go. King. Another king. Now, here we go. Okay, where is it? Okay, hands up. How many people think it's here? No. How many people think it's in the middle? How many people think it's over here? Oh, most people think it's over here. You'll go right here? Okay. Too bad you're wrong. Okay. Hold on. What? Last chance. You only got one left. Last chance. Follow queen. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make it really simple for you. I'm going to place a handkerchief over the queen and 2 kings. Watch closely. I will now, with blinding speed, move the cards around. Now, it should be pretty obvious where the queen is. Where is it? Okay, hold on. How many people think it's here? How many people think it's here? How many people think it's here? Okay, most people think it's here. That one? Thank you. Okay, hold on, wait a second. The next time you go to put your money in your pocket to take it out to gamble, remember how you felt today when you were so positive you knew you were going to win. Remember that feeling. Remember every time each one of you said, oh, I know exactly where it is. Take your money and put it back in your pocket. Because there's only one way to beat gambling, and that's never, never do it. Now, I'd like to leave you with... Thank you. I'd like to leave you with a final thought. I have 4 messages here. If you can live your life by these messages, you know, I think you'll do pretty good. You know, you don't have to be a magician to do magic either, you know. Carpenters do magic with their hands. Mechanics do magic with your cars. Teachers do magic with your minds. Find that special magic that you have inside of you and make that magic the best magic it possibly can be. And the only way to do that is through hard work. Here's my 4 messages. I want you to yell them out loud as I hold them up. I can think of millions of things to do besides drugs. Key word there is wise. And you know the only way to do that, a healthy life, is no drugs or alcohol, and if you make all the right decisions, you're going to lead a pretty happy life as well. Last one. Only through hard work. The only way you're going to keep your dreams alive. You know, we have a theme of this show, and I'd like to leave by showing you what that theme is. And it's a simple matter of a few magic pieces of dust and thank you very much for coming to see my show. It's been a great experience, and bye-bye.